The Rocket Mortgage Classic is rolling this week. We join in gaming golf after taking a week off for the 3M. And I joined after taking a couple of weeks off because I missed for the British too. So all that and more as we start gaming golf. Hey everybody, welcome to Gaming Golf. It's been a while, been a hot minute for me. I missed the last two. We collectively took last week off for the 3M Open, also known as the final straw in my season-long team's collapse. Scott Piercy was on my roster, so that was a really tough watch. We are back at it this week with the Rocket Mortgage Classic, the Ricky, it's the Ricky Fowler Open. We do not have Bryson DeChambeau, so it's a little bit different. We do have Ricky Fowler. He still hasn't gone living on us yet, so good for him. Guys, how are you? It's been a while.
Doing well. Good to see you. Welcome back. Good to just reset after the 3M. The 3M Open, I mean, that's one you just got to take the week off and let's just take it all in, right? It's too big. Got to just let it marinate. But no, good to be back. Yeah. I wish this is like one of the weeks of the year. I kind of wish I still lived in Michigan because it's fun to pop out there and see that one. Lived in the Detroit. I grew up in Michigan and I lived in the Detroit area for about 6 years. So this is an event I did not get to see in my time in Michigan, but I wish I could have.
Yeah, my mom grew up in Detroit. I spent a lot of summers going up there from Indianapolis, and my best friend from college is from Grand Blanc, which is a suburb of Flint, where they used to play a tournament. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, they don't do that one there anymore. That's a better course. But at any rate, I was happy for the 3M that the highest rated golfer won. I mean, it's good for them that they get Finau winning like that, but pretty good for them.
I think Scott's bookie is calling him now. So
it is. I'm getting some bets in right now. But I mean, we didn't record last week, so does that mean I don't get to gloat about 28-1 Cam Smith in the Open Championship? Because that was awesome.
You do get to gloat about that.
That was a fun Sunday, an unbelievable round by Cam Smith at the end of that one. But it was a lot of fun. I really like Rory, and I was pulling for him to win if Cam Smith didn't win. But when the money's on the line, I had to root for Cam, and that was a fun one. Jeff and I were both pretty all over Cam Smith when we did the pod that week.
I did do the pod with you for that one.
Yeah, I thought you were here for that.
Yeah, I was. I left that night. That's what happened.
Yeah.
So I missed the Wednesday radio appearance with Len Hochberg. That's what I missed. Okay, very important that we got that established. Let's tackle this week. First of all, this is another Birdie Fest course, isn't it?
For sure. This is how low can you go? Wide open fairways. Bryson, bulked up version of Bryson has won here. Nate Lashley, big hitter, is a former winner. Last year was Cam Davis. I don't think he rates among the biggest drivers, but this just feels like one of those tracks where it's just like, everyone's going to play from the fairway, basically. So being closer to the hole to me is an advantage. I look at driving distance or strokes gained off a tee a lot when I was prepping for this, and then still look at approaches because that shows you who's playing well. But I think off the tee is big because this is where you can really use that advantage.
Yeah, and I think the key is if you do miss the fairway, it's not very punitive. There's like water on one hole out here. It's just if you're a little bit off the fairway, it's not going to hurt you that much. So yeah, I mean it's short enough where some short guys can compete, but going long here is definitely an edge.
Yep, and that's why Bryson made such a big splash here when he was playing here. This is after it was one of the first tournaments after he bulked up that we saw him, and he dominated the field. It was super fun to watch, and. Now, not so much. So let's look at the field here. We have 4 guys in 5 digits. Patrick Cantlay at 10-7. Tony Finau coming off the win at 10-6. Will Zalatoris at 10-4. And Cam Young at 10-1. Let's go Mr. Cam Smith Picker and Scott Genstad there. What do you got for us? What do you like? Do you like anybody in this range?
For sure. And this is a week where I think build how you're going to build is very important. As I went through this, there are a lot of players in the 7s I like. As we get in the 8s and 9s, there's like one guy in the 8 I like to play this week. But I think I set the cutoff maybe like 9-7. I think it's pretty clear above that. It's definitely a different tier of player. I'm going to go with 2 guys above 9-7 on most of my lineups and then play down in the 7s. Like if you go Cam Young and Will Zalatoris as 10-1 and 10-4, you have about 7-3 left for the rest of your team. There's enough guys in the low 7s, high 6s, mid 7s that I do like. So I think I'm going to play 2 guys up here. Might surprise you guys. My favorite guy up here is actually, I wouldn't argue against any of them. Cantlay's probably the best player. Finau won last week. Zalatoris, obviously always right there. But I really like Cam Young this week. I think his game sets up perfectly this course. Hits the ball a mile, but obviously also hits it close. So when the shot game's approach is good, he's first in the fields in birdie ops gained and birdie or better games. So like this is a course where you got to make a lot of birdies. Exactly what he does. Obviously, we saw the second at the British after that couple of missed cuts. It was good to see him bounce back. You look at the last 24 rounds, first in the field off the tee, huge here. Second tee to green, 7th in ball striking. I just think it's a perfect setup for Cam Young. Love him at 10-1 this week. And if I had to go second guy up here, probably Zalatoris. I'm going to a lot of Zalatoris, Cam Young starting a lineup this week.
Yeah, it was super fun to see Cam Young driving the green on 18 at the British there, making the eagle, forcing Cam Smith to make birdie. He did, but still, it's still pretty cool.
So, yeah, Cam Young's my top pick off this tier.
Wow.
Similar to Scott, I don't think I want more than one. Although I like the 8,000 tier more than the 7. So I want to get one guy and then build in the 8s and 7s. So I would lean Young. I feel like Zalatoris can be very heavily owned. He's kind of everybody's, best guy without a tour win. Although maybe Young is, it's probably those two. But there's some other guys too. I think this is a good week for somebody to win their first tour event. So you start at the top with Zalatoris and Young, but we'll as we progress, I have a few more ideas.
Very good. Let's move on to that next tier. They put some respect on Max Homa's name, gave him a $9,900 price on DK. Cam Davis is at 97. Adam Scott, 93. Dizzying heights for Cam Davis, by the way. Adam Scott at 93. Keegan Bradley at 92. Kevin Kisner, 91. Jeff Ritter, you get to go first this time.
Not my favorite tier. I think Cam Davis is interesting, but maybe a little high. He has been playing well, and he's a defending champion. I think Kisner's a little sneakier at 9,100, although I don't really love that price either. But he flashed on the leaderboard at the British Open. He's a bit of a streaky player, and you'd think, well, this is the kind of course we just talked about how big hitters tend to play well, but actually it's so wide open that Kisner, who's not a long hitter, but a solid iron player and short game player, he's had good success at this event as well. So I like him kind of going back to a course where he's had success and playing well. So maybe at 9,100, he's probably my favorite off this tier. But for me, I get into it more in the 8s and 7s this week.
I like the 9-7 guys and above here, why I kind of said that earlier. My bookie really keeps calling me. Sorry about that, guys. I always like Max Homa. He missed the cut at the British Open, but he was playing with Tiger. I just kind of throw that out. Like, it's a really tough situation. He was playing there. He barely missed the cut. I think he was +2, and the cut was either +1 or even. But only his second missed cut of the year. Playing really well. Can go low. All the stats can line up for Homa to be good here. But I do like Cam Davis a lot. The price is a little bit high at 9.7. But Jeff mentioned he won here last year. He was 16th to the 3M last week and hit the ball really well. Gained 7.4 tee to green, 4.3 at approach. He was 8th at John Deere before that. He played really well ball striking approach off the tee and tee to green. Made 6 straight cuts. And you look at a guy that makes birdies. He's 4th in this field in birdie or better opportunities gained, 6th in the field in birdies or better, actually cashed in. I think he lines up really well here. I think he might be more popular to think just because he won here last year. The price is a little bit high, but I think people will gravitate towards him. And like I said before, the 9, 7, and above, and that includes Davis and Homa. I'm going to try and play 2 of that group on all my lineups.
All right. Let's move into the 8,000s here. We got Denny McCarthy at 8,900, Matt McNeely at 88, Sahith Theegala at 87, Davis Riley 86, Cameron Tringali 85, Adam Hadwin 84, Webb Simpson 83, Russell Henley 82, Gary Woodland 81, Mark Hubbard 8,000. Now, Scott, you've already said that you might be skipping this tier if you're building with 2 expensive players.
Yep.
if you don't skip this tier, if you only go with one, for instance, is there someone you like?
There's one guy in here I really like. I don't love the tier, but I do love Davis Riley this week. Missed the cut on the number last week at 3M, but he hadn't played in a month. I'm going to throw that for a little bit of rust. He played very average, didn't really gain or lose anywhere, just kind of played kind of a boring couple of days. But he was 64th the week prior, but he lost 8 strokes putting in that one. He had 5 straight top 13s between Mexico and Memorial. So played really well. I think he's going to get it back this week. You look at the last 24 rounds, he's 5th in the field tee to green, 5th in ball striking, 3rd in approach, just really been solid all year. He's really good at getting birdie opportunities, which we need here. So if I'm playing someone here, it's 8,600. I know a lot of people like Mark Hubbard this week. He's kind of a stats darling this week at 8,000. But Riley for me is the one guy in here that I may find myself playing.
I think Hubbard is he out? Did he
WD? All right, well that's good.
I'm seeing out next to his name on DraftKings. That's new to me. If he actually, he was not on my list, but I agree.
I think he was out last week, and that might be a carryover because we have a note saying he's still listed in the field. That's the latest on RotoWire.
Okay.
So for whatever that's worth.
Well, maybe that makes Hubbard an even better play if he has an out icon next to his name on DraftKings. People are going to stay away from him. So plug him in there until further notice.
It's totally fine and safe. And Jeff Ritter has guaranteed your entry if it's not safe and fine.
Yeah.
So
that's the gaming golf guarantee right there.
Yes.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of people really like Mark Hubbard this week. That name's been out there a bunch.
Yep.
I think I agree with you on Davis Riley. I think Thigala has been playing well also. This is back to my tier of picking up the thread of guys who are due to win a tournament, guys who have been on leaderboards, been close. So in addition to Thigala, I think Maverick McNeely is interesting. He's had a couple top 25s at this event. It wasn't that long ago when McNeely was kind of the Cam Young of the tour almost, maybe not that much success in majors, but just a guy marked for stardom very early. Still doesn't have a tour win somehow, but this could be it. Then also think and Thigala. I think Cam Young seems like a lock for rookie of the year at this point, but if you took him off the board, I mean, Thigala and Davis Riley have both had really good years as rookies. So I like them both at that price this week.
Thanks to Tom T for confirming that Hubbard is indeed playing this week there. Appreciate you there. I love the interaction.
That's a sneaky DraftKings pick then. As long as that out icon appears next to his name for people setting their lineups right now, you might, some people are going to avoid that. Right?
Yeah. There's a lag factor for sure when that clicks off. But anyways, before we move on to the copious $7,000 tier, quick note from our sponsors on the Blue Wire Network. And we are back. We want to thank everybody. We always have the RotoWire podcast on the Blue Wire Network. Let's look at the 7,000s again. Too copious to list. No, actually, it's not. We're going to go by halvesies. Siwoo Kim at 79, Chris Kirk at 78, Streelman at 77, along with Stallings. At 76, Troy Merritt, J.H. Kim, Cam Champ, Jason Day at 75, along with Matt Kuchar and Brendan Steele and Taylor Pendriff. I think it is Jeff Ritter's turn to go first here. Do you like anybody in the top half of the 7,000s?
Yeah, I think Kirk is interesting. Streelman's interesting. I think Stallings is one of my favorites. Stallings has 3 made cuts in his last 3 appearances in Detroit. He's also top 10s in 3 of his last 5 starts. So quietly building some momentum, has had success in Detroit. I like it. I think Cam Champ also, just again, going back to the player profile we talked about, he's streaky, but he did crack a top 10. I think it was at the Rocky Mortgage or 3M that he played. He just missed a bunch of cuts this summer, but he's streaky. He's kind of an all or nothing guy, but he's won on tour multiple times. And, he has that bash it, go get it kind of golf game that can work out here. So I like him at that price. And then Taylor Pendriff, we talked about him before on this podcast, coming back from injury. He's quietly got a couple top 15s playing alternate field events. So he was really the guy that I think was on most people's at the top or near the top for rookie of the year consideration at the start of the year. And they just got derailed by the injury. Appears to be rounding back into form, and you get him at a cheap price. So I'm interested.
I'm playing a lot of guys in the sevens this week, so I have some favorites in each part of them. I like J.H. Kim, as you call him. We call him Tom Kim. It's his name he goes by in America, but this guy at 7,600. He's 39th ranked player in the world. He was 26th last week after being 47th at the Open, third at the Scottish, 23rd at the U.S. Open. Gained 5.5 shots tee to green last week, so played really well at the 3M Open. Just kind of putted really average, so he didn't really make a big run. But his price is up a little bit, but 7,600. I think he's the best player down here in the range. I really like Brendan Steele at 7,500. Also, he did not play well last week. He missed the cut, but still gained 3.1 tee to green. He lost 6 strokes putting last week. Just could not make a putt. And you look at tee to green and approach game, elite prior to last week, 3 straight top 25s. You look at the last 24 rounds in this field. Brendan Steele is first in the field in ball striking. He's second off the tee. He's fourth in approach, just hitting the ball fantastically well. 7th in the field in birdie or better opportunities gained also. So his profile fits really well here. And then I agree with Jeff. I really like Taylor Pendriff. He was a guy that was playing really well, had the wrist injury. He was 13th at Barbasol and gained really well. 6.8 tee to green, 5.3 off the tee. He was also 11th at the Barracuda with the modified scoring there. He's a guy that hits the ball a mile too, so his driving should be really good. So I really like Kim, Steele, and Pendriff. We'll be mixing and matching them on multiple teams this week.
Yeah, Tom T also chimes in and says, he was off 4 months and came back T13, T11. So yeah, pretty good. Different fields. Obviously, that's one thing that might work against a little bit, but this is a different field too. Basically, it's a very similar field, maybe a little bit better up top. But how about you said you like a lot of guys in the lower sevens. Let's enumerate them real quick, and then you can tell me which ones you like, Scott, and then Jeff after that. At 74, Johnny Vegas. I know that's one of them you're going to be saying. Alex Smalley at 74, Ryan Palmer at 74. Chris Gotterup, who has made a little bit of a splash since joining the tour, is at 74. At the 73s, Harris English, CT Pan, another Genstad favorite. Mackenzie Hughes at 73. Nick Hardy and Ricky Fowler, all at 73. At 72, Joel Damon, Luke List, Adam Svensson, Kurt Kitayama, that's a Jeff favorite. Doug Gim at 72. Jeff Erickson, that is, not a Jeff Ritter. Might be Jeff Ritter favorite too. Who knows? Wyndham Clark also at 72. At 7,100, we got Patrick Rogers, Stuart Sink, Grayson Sigg, Callum Tarrant, Danny Willett, Hank Lebiota. Man, it's getting harder and harder. Michael Thor Bjortzen also. And then at 7,000, I think they're kind of sneaking in some names just to see if I can pronounce them. Matthias Schwab, Patton Kazire, Dylan Fratelli, Adam Shank, Austin Sutherman, there's another fave. James Hahn, Trey Mullenix, Michael Gligic, pardon me for butchering that one. Gligic. Sorry about that, Michael. Appreciate you. Thank you, Scott. Okay, I think we go Scott first here on these lower ones. This is kind of your Huckleberry too. What do you like?
Yeah, I like 7,000 to 7,600 is where the range I really like this week. But I actually like Gligic, who you cannot say, and who knows if I'm saying it right. Michael has made 7 straight cuts. He's 7,000. He's been top 21 the last 3 weeks he's played. I mean, for a guy down here in this range, those are really good results. There's huge results in DraftKings. You can get a top 25 guy down here. You are living well. He's putted really well the last 4 weeks, so that's helped a little bit. But he's gained tee to green, off the tee, and approach the last 3 weeks. Playing really good golf right now. Made 7 straight cuts. Gotta love that at the price. Then I like Callum Tarrant at 7,100. I know he missed the cut at the Scottish, but in between that, he was 7th last week at the 3M. He was 6th at the Deer and played really well. He's not a guy that I gained 8 strokes on the greens, whatever. At 3M, he gained 7.9 shots tee to green, 5.4 in approach. At Deer, he gained 6.4 tee to green. He's just playing really well right now with that mixed cut in the middle. But at 7,100, I think he's someone that jumps off the page to me as someone. We got 2 top 7s the last 3 weeks. That's pretty big down here. And then Chris Gotterup, he had the missed cut at where was it? That was at Barbasol. Bounced back really well. I like to see that. At 3M last week, he played really well. Gained 7.5 tee to green, 4.7 on approach. He's 9th in this whole field over the last 24 rounds in birdie or better opportunities gained. So he's someone that can go low. Probably a little bit of a little bit up and down here with Gotterup in his first year on the tour, but he's made 4 or 5 cuts. He has a 4th in there at the Deer. Played really well last week. I think the price is right this week at 7,400 for him to be on a lot of rosters too.
I always get intrigued this time of year by college stars that start popping back onto the tour in the summer, and so Thor Bjortzen, this kid from Stanford, is interesting to me. Still an amateur, and I almost wish he was down at like 6,500 instead of I think he's 7,000 or so. I wish he was even cheaper, but he's an All-American. Nothing to lose, and I think he's already played somewhere. I'm trying to look it up. I know I've seen him on a leaderboard this summer at some point, briefly. Is it Travelers? Anyway, you get into these like college stars with big pedigrees, confidence, nothing to lose. His nickname is Thor. You like that? You like the story? I think it could just be a fun guy to put in. That most people don't know that name yet, so they're probably just going to glance right over it and assume he's like,
finished fourth at the Travelers.
Yeah, he finished fourth. He was actually in the mix though.
He was okay. Yeah. So, all right, he's even finished fourth. So, all right, I'm even more bullish. So a lesser or someone who's not really plugged into pro golf will see that name and just glaze over it, thinking it's just some Norwegian coming down to just like come make a check for a week if they're lucky. But there might be something there. So I would go that route. I'm in on Chris Gotterup again. I think he's underpriced. I think he's shown enough to be priced out of the sevens at this point. And then I think for narrative, you jokingly called it the Ricky Fowler Open, but I think Fowler is fascinating. I mean, I have no insight into what's going on with him, but we know that there's like rumored, live golf conversation taking place. And you look at the standings, Ricky's like just outside the top 125. So he probably has two events maybe to play for PGA Tour status. And if he doesn't get the status, where's he going to go? I mean, so if you're on the Ricky Fowler playing for America, playing to stay on television, tour, I don't know. I think it's fascinating. Fowler's he's an interesting guy to watch this week. So
sure.
If you like the narrative, if you like to follow a story, I think Fowler's interesting, and he's priced appropriately anyway.
By the way, Michael Thor Bjornsen's nickname is the Thunder Cub. So how do you go wrong with that?
Yeah,
all right,
1,000 more just for that.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, new Thor movie, did not enjoy.
Really?
Saw it last night. I was disappointed. Too campy, and they're basically they made him be this buffoon for the first hour of the movie, and it really wasn't earned, I thought. So, anyways, moving on. This is not a movie review podcast. So, anybody else in the sixes you guys like?
I didn't have much. I've been watching Tyler Duncan a little bit. I think Scott flagged him first. He was 45th last week, top 15 at the Barbasol. I don't know. I think you could probably build it off the lower sevens and avoid this tier. You get down to the 6,000s in a field like this, you are really you're in the dregs a little bit. So I had Tyler Duncan, but not much else.
Two guys I like down here, and I might play. I'll probably play one of them on a couple laps. Hayden Buckley is 6,900. He's made 5 straight cuts. He gained over 4.5 shots on approach at 3M and Barbasol. I guess 4.3 at Barbasol, so over 4 in both of those. Finished 26 last week at the 3M and hit it really well. Had a little trouble around the greens, but if you kind of limit it down, when you get the 6s, you kind of limit it down. You go to like the last 12 rounds you guys have played. He's top 5 in shots gained, ball striking, so he's hitting the ball really well, especially recently. And I like guys that if you get someone down to 6,000, give me someone who's hot with the ball striking, and you kind of go from there. And then also kind of a similar vein, Lee Hodges is 6,800. He was really good last week at 3M. He gained 11.3 shots tee to green, 9 strokes on approach. He's one of the better players out there, ball striking. He lost 3.8 strokes putting. So he had trouble in the greens, but he finished 16th. He just puts average. He's like in the mix on Sunday, right up there with the big studs. So I like how well he hit it last week. Give me someone who's hot, coming off a really good ball striking week. Hodges 6,800, I think is really playable too. And
everybody's going to be angling to try to pick him up on Monday when he's first eligible in our league. He was attempted to be picked up, but he had been dropped in this month. So will be interesting to see what happens there if he comes off another good tournament this week, especially. All right, let's move on to the SI Sportsbook and take a look at what we see there on the on the betting side of things. Jeff, what's your betting sheet looking like?
So, I mean, similar vein to what we talked about. I think Cam Young. I wish the odds were a little longer than 18-1, but I think he's my pick to win this week, so I'm going to go with him. I think again, guys who are due, there's Sahith Theegala, 33-1. Mav McNeely's 35-1. Davis Riley's 35-1. And then Cam Champ, the course fit, 50-1. And I'm trying to find odds on the Thunder Cub while we're here because I just think, top 5, 22-1. 22-1 for the Thunder Cub for a top 5. Why not? That'll do it for me.
I think now that his price is out there. His nickname is out there. the price is just going to get worse as we go on here.
That's true. The gaming golf bounce is about to take hold for Thor Bjortzen betting odds.
Give me 22-1 to win in about 20 minutes here.
Yeah.
I'm going Cam Young also. I wish, like Jeff, I wish the price was a little better, but 18-1, I think really good shot to win this week. I like that. Davis Riley for sure at 35-1. I saw him at 45-1 earlier this week, and now he's down 35, but I still do like that. Tom Kim, 50-1 for sure. I just think too good of a player to be that long of an odds. And then I'm stuck in the 60s here. I like a couple guys, but I think I'm going to go with Taylor Pendriff at 60-1 also. I think that hits the ball far. I think he's got a guy that's been up there a couple times on the leaderboard, so could win. And then a couple long shots for a few bucks. Chris Goddard's 80-1. I think he's got a chance to win this week also. And then I'm going to go with Hayden Buckley for a couple bucks, 150-1, and maybe a top 10 there. I think he's playing, hitting the ball well enough that I'm intrigued there at 150-1.
Yeah, it's interesting that Goddard is only $100 cheaper than Pendriff, but much better odds on the betting sheet. So you like to try to find a way to arbitrage that, especially when you like both players.
For sure, I agree there. I think I'm surprised Goddard was 80-1 because he was really popular a couple of weeks ago, and the name was out there. And then I think people have just forgotten about him. I think he's someone who could legit make a run at the tournament this week.
Yep, I very much agree. Looking forward to seeing that. I wish I had it on my watch in our season-long league, but then again, I wouldn't wish that on any young golfer that's on the rise. So Scott Piercy can attest to that. So there you go. Let's talk about one and done. Who are we going here? Scott, you go first.
I have him available. I think he's going to win this week, so I'm going to make this pretty easy. I'm going Cam Young and one and done this week.
I've already used him, so tough break there. Jeff?
Well, I haven't used Cam Young. He was going to be my first choice, but
make it.
Do it anyway.
Oh, you know what? You can't take the Thunder Cub because he's an amateur here. You can't take him in our one and done. All right, then I'm gonna take Cam Young.
Yeah, I just realized he's grayed out too. Why? I guess he can't make money, so you can't take him.
That's too bad. He's an amateur.
He's not great, but he's not grayed out on DraftKings though, which is interesting.
No, he's playable there because that's more points. I guess
that's true.
He can't make money, and the one and done's all based on maybe he'd have a slot. I guess I think they just skip him in the slot, so I guess you can't do it.
Yeah, he made $0 for his fourth place finish at the Travelers, so.
And that would have been $410,000. I think I read too.
Oh man, he must be confident in his ability in the future though, so that's pretty cool. I'm going to go with Tom Kim, and then Siwoo Kim's my backup because I really like him. So there you go. My wife will be happy about that. We got a question from Tom. Any thoughts on Denny McCarthy?
It's funny. I usually skip Denny McCarthy because he's just all putting and nothing else. I never like to rely on that. But Denny McCarthy hit the ball really well at the John Deere. He gained over 5-point shots in approach, over 8 tee to green. He finished 6th there. You look at his last 4 events, 3 top 7s is really, really impressive. But I always worry he's just so reliant on the putter. He's expensive this week. He's $8,900. I think he's more playable than I thought he's been in the past. Gets hot with his putter again. It's really good. He's the number 1 player in this field in short game. He's number 1 in the last 24 rounds. So I have no issue with it. I probably like Davis Riley more right below him, but I don't love the 8, so I wouldn't really argue hard against McCarthy if he had a slot for him there.
Yeah. Good question, Tom. Appreciate you on that. Appreciate everybody listening in. And as always, love the interaction. Love Tom jumping in here on that. We want more of that. So if you're watching or listening to us live, please keep on pounding us with the questions. We like it there. Any parting thoughts, guys?
I think Ricky's going to stay. I think he's going to find his way back to the PGA Tour. That's my parting thought. If this is Ricky week, I feel like we should make a Ricky prediction. I think he plays his way back into the top 125 and says no to live.
Is Cam Young officially a goner? Do we know if he went to live? I know there's all the rumors. Do we know that he went?
Cam Davis?
Cam Smith. Cam Smith.
Yeah. No, not officially.
Okay.
There's rumors, but no. You know,
That
I
would be huge.
think the next big domino is probably after the FedEx Cup. You know, there's going to be another wave
Makes sense.
where guys have a chance at that $15 million prize. So that's that you got to think that's going to be a moment.
I'd be really bummed out if Cam Smith or Hideki went over there. Those are guys closer to the top of their game, and that would be a pretty big domino in my mind.
Yeah.
But
Cam Smith would be the best player to go if he went
by a pretty order of magnitude, I think now.
It depends what you think about DJ.
Well, DJ, yeah.
But he's
maybe not an order of magnitude with DJ, yeah.
But he's definitely a better player than DJ last whatever that is, year and a half or so.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
absolutely true. All right, that's going to wrap it up for today. Thanks everybody for listening. Good luck in the Rocket Mortgage Classic, and we'll be back at you again next week. Take care.